Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a review on my Okuma EVX Musky carbon rod. This rod is I bought back last November when I bought my Tranx 400. It is an 8.6 extra heavy, and it has been I'd say I've used it probably 75% of the time this year. The other time was when I was throwing rattle traps. I need a little bit lighter, like a medium power rod to make sure I wasn't pulling rattle trap hooks out of big bony mouths. So I've got a few criteria here that I have lined out for the review. But before I get started, I just want to say I'm not being paid, I'm not being sponsored, nothing like that. I'm just a poor old country boy that likes to bank fish, wade fish, and kayak fish for muskie. So I'm not getting any money for this, just want to keep it honest and simple. Alright, so the criteria are the blank of the rod, which is, for those of you who don't know, the backbone of the rod, the actual core of the rod. The price, the fact that it telescopes, the guides, and the warranty. Now, we'll jump right in. The blank of this rod is darn near indestructible in my opinion. One day in one of my episodes, you don't see it, but the episode where I catch 3 muskie from the bank in 45 minutes, I was so excited that I stepped on the rod. And it was positioned over a rock in such a way that it had like a 4-inch gap from the ground, and I stepped on it and it flexed. Like I was stepping in the middle of the rod and it flexed. And I'm 250 pounds, and with all my gear and cold weather on and stuff like that, I'm probably pushing over 260, and didn't do anything. I mean, it broke a few of the guides out, but I'll get to that here in a second. It's very durable for what you pay for this rod. It's extremely durable. Now, the tip of the rod, the fast action and heavy tip of the rod allows you to launch heavier baits with confidence. I've thrown heavy 8 and 7-inch glides, and some big blades with this. It pulls them pretty confidently, and mag dogs, stuff like that. It'll launch these baits, and I've never had a problem with the tip breaking or anything like that. And when you hook up with a big fish, or a fish under a certain angle that would be awkward and puts lots of pressure on the rod, nothing. It performs flawlessly. I love the blank construction on this rod. It's well built. Now, moving on to the guides of the rod, that's where I have a problem. The guides do not fit the durability of this rod. The guides, to me, aren't made as well. When I stepped on the rod that day, am I 250 pounds? Yes. So they broke out. But so I had those replaced. I took it to a local guy and he replaced them. But turn around a few months later and I'm doing a figure 8 at the spillway down here at Cave Run, and I lightly brushed the rod, a factory guide of the rod, against a rock I didn't see. And when I say lightly brushed, probably a quarter of my strength, on the figure 8, boom. Oh, I hit a rod. You pull the rod up, you go to cast, thinking no big deal, and you randomly notice you're missing a guide. When the guide is popped out and you look at it, the wire, the metal that's holding the guide, it's just not made as well and as thick as the rest of the rod. And you can kind of look at something and tell quality. And I was just kind of bummed that the rod was so good, but the guides were subpar. So the guides could use some work. Now, I do love the fact, well, it's a love-hate-love relationship, that this rod telescopes. What I mean by telescopes, if you don't know, is you take that, boom, locks into place. When you're done, you just twist it, put it back in there. Now, sometimes it's harder to do than what I just did. But you give it a good pull, and it should stay in place. Awesome for convenience, awesome for storage. And I have a Jeep, so an 8-foot rod is about all I can fit in the Jeep, and that's an 8.6. It's awesome. But here's the downfall. To me, it's a pretty big downfall. I have had that rod collapse on me several times fishing. Actually, in my episode of Musky Feeding Frenzy, when I had 12 or 14 raises when I was creek fishing in like a half hour, and I had to stop and reposition the rod because it kept collapsing on me. Now, yes, I hike, I swim, I do everything with this rod, so I move it around a lot. Maybe it just vibrates out of place. But to me, if I'm 250 pounds, I should be able to pull that rod out and it stay. And I can torque it pretty hard. It should stay. I don't want my equipment failing on me when possible fish of a lifetime hits. So, pretty big drawback. Yes, it's convenient, but it has failed on me. Maybe it's just where I abuse my equipment and it's not staying like it should. I don't know. But to me, that shouldn't happen regardless. So, awesome, but double-edged sword. The price of this rod, very, very, very much a moderately priced rod. You can look on Google and it's going to be $80-$90 in some stores, $110-$120 in another store. You can go to a tackle shop, you'll probably see these things for $110-$120. So when you hear Okuma EVX carbon rod, think $100, because that's roundabout what you're going to be spending. For the performance you get out of this rod, as opposed to higher end models like St. Croix Premiers, even a Mojo Musky, or I've got two St. Croix Legends that I use saltwater. I know it's a different species, different water, but the performance you get out of this $100 rod versus what I've used $400 and $500 rods, you're gonna get your money's worth out of this rod. I would, if I was gonna scrape money off of one end of my rod or reel combo, I would jump down a rod to this one, and not go any lower than this one, just because I've used it and I know people who used it, musky guides, musky nuts like myself. You're gonna get what you pay for out of this rod, and you're not gonna be disappointed for the $100 you spend. That being said, I'll move on to the last part, which is the warranty, the customer service and warranty that goes along with this rod. This rod has a lifetime warranty. I know several people, musky guides and friends who fish for musky like myself, and people on I've scrolled lots of musky threads, forums, and everybody speaks the same. Whether you love the rod or you hate the rod, you send it in, you tell them what happened, say, hey, I broke it, I want another one. No questions asked, they send you another one. It's quick, somebody always responds. To my knowledge, what I've read and heard, they're always polite, and you get a new rod. You can't, any problem you have with this rod can be solved with that. Now, I don't necessarily think the warranty covers the guides. I've never known a warranty to do that, but if you can find you a local guy that does that and can fix guides like I've got a guy that does it for like $10 or $12 a piece, you're in business. So the warranty and customer service of any product that I buy ever, that's one of the most important pieces for me. And to me, that's the redeeming quality of this rod for what few flaws it has. So most definitely a heavy hitter there. So you've got 5 criteria. You got your blank, your price, the telescoping ability, the guides, and the warranty. It has, I wanted to subtract probably a star and a half for the fact that it failed on me and would slide back in, but the guides. But the warranty is a very redeeming quality. I feel like when you can just get a brand new rod and possibly it was just a problem with the one you had before, I think that's a pretty big deal. So all in all, for the price and everything that I've experienced with this rod, I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I know a lot of you guys and gals may disagree, agree with me, have different points of view. This is my review. So, you know, you can tell me your experiences down below in the comment section, and let me know what what your take on it is. I don't mind hearing, you know, other opinions and seeing what other people suggest, as long as they keep it respectful. I say that because of just a few people I've ran into in the past year. But, you know, let me know what you think. I hope this helps you out, and you know, gives you, if you save money on this rod, maybe you'll have, you know, more money for other things like musky baits. So thanks for watching, you all, and keep fishing.